Okay, this volunteering thing turned out to be a lot more expensive than I knew. I came down here to the Texas Discovery Center to garden, not center, garden. And, they had like two proposals going on down here and two weddings going on down here in this particular garden area where I'll be volunteering. And so I signed up for 2 days, two shifts, and I'm going to be in the butterfly house. Butterfly house. Yes. And, well, I love the butterflies. Of course, I love the butterflies. And, so I'm going to be able to learn more about the butterflies. I'm going to be able to teach more about the butterflies. And then the people that was in the orientation with me, they were also doing other voluntary positions where, they had learned about how to be master gardeners and master nature and other stuff like that. And then it's all done on this application called Point. And when I downloaded the Point application, it showed all of these different positions that you can sign up to volunteer for, and I mean, who knew? Who knew? So they have positions, down here at the state fair location all year round. But, they have positions all over, the Dallas area. Some people will be working outside, some people will be working inside. It was very enlightening for me. And in the butterfly house, it's very enchanting for sure. I ended up spending 2 hours there, even though the orientation, could have been only an hour. But, I guess I'm a bit much because, I wanted to know the details. I don't like going someplace, getting into something and winging it. So they have a reptilian house. They have a front entrance volunteer position. Now she said they'll put you where they need you under certain circumstances. Now my first position, I think I'm gonna like being in the butterfly house, because I was just so enchanted in there. I was enchanted. And my frequency chart was done on a butterfly. Yeah. But, other voluntary positions such as master gardener also sounded very interesting. They also have greenhouse voluntary positions, even though the greenhouse at this location was closed. But they have other various places where you can, take these classes, and and then you get certified after you complete 50 hours or 55 hours, or I think it's 50 hours of volunteer services. You get certificate. Okay. So yeah, I got my ticket and my parking pass. They said they provide snacks. They said, there's gonna be like their whole 5-hour shifts. So it's like, a part-time job pretty much. I mean, she was trying to sign me up for more days. I was like, no, let's start off with 2. Let's start off with 2. That way I can know whether I like coming during the day or I like coming during the evening time. Because, even though right now, 7 o'clock, it will still be daylight. So that's, gonna be a plus. But I can't remember how fast, it starts to get dark earlier. But from what I remember, it's pretty quick. But I was noting that right now, it's sun sets about 7:30. There'll also be like parking lot positions. So yeah, I'm pleased. I mean, the introvert is getting out. And she's interacting with pleasant people who are out to have a good time. And I think I'm gonna like it. They even have a store that you can volunteer at the Discovery Center also. So, yep. So I think the whiz that was the play that was going on down here, I think it's over the same time as I'm leaving. And it was just starting, or we're parking the same time I was coming in. So I'm kind of stuck in traffic. So one of the things that, I was concerned about is, whether they was going to have us parking outside of the gates, right? Because I'm just particular about my safety. I know about this area of the past wasn't great, right? Especially outside of these gates. So yeah. And Peyton, she's really nice. She made me feel very comfortable asking questions, and even walking me through the app, because my my app, when I downloaded it, it was tethering, and then it also required an email address for my emergency contact. I'm like, who knows the email address of their emergency contact? I knew the phone number. That was simple enough. So yeah, I think that this will help my self-esteem when it comes to this volunteering stuff. It will also give me free entry to the state fair. Yeah, it will give me free entry to the state fair. On the days that I volunteer. So I was kind of hoping that we would just get a free ticket, but that's not the case, because we would have to use it on the day that we come in to volunteer. So if we're doing 5 hours of volunteer work, you're not going to spend that much time at the fair anyway, in my opinion. And they said they would provide some free snacks. Oh yeah, and you have to bring a clear like purse or bag or whatever. If you bring in a bag, it has to be in a clear, it has to be see-through, period. Clear. So I have some clear stuff that I know I can bring. Yeah. So I'm happy with myself for going ahead and signing up and going through with this. It was I had never went to the Discovery Garden at no time that I have went down to State Fair. I think I either went for the State Fair or I went, to go watch a play. And those were the main reasons why I even came down there. So yeah, I think it's going to be kind of nice. I'm excited. know Snoopy's going to be just fine. Unless Gracie just drives her crazy with all her whining and crying. Because Miss Snoopy is very sensitive. You know, she's very compassionate. So before I left, I started soaking some black beans. You know, and I'm thinking with the Instapot, the black beans should probably be cooked probably within 30 minutes if I just do high temperature pressure cook. 30 minutes and have some black beans. And then I was thinking I would fry up some beef livers and have some of the rice. That I've already cooked, you know, to see if, you know, the pressure cooker, you know, would be worth keeping if it was going to cook the rice to perfection, which it did. Because they have pre-settings for rice that it will cook the rice for the allotted time and then just keep it on it would turn itself off. Instead of burning. I'm burning my pots. And I'm gonna be honest, you know, normally, unless I don't have somewhere specific to go, it's hard for me to get out of the house. I have to really force myself and tell myself, you need to get out, go to a park, go to a trail, just to keep, you know, just to keep yourself circulating. Because, you know, since I've been unemployed, you know, I don't do too much. You know, I don't know if it's some type of depression, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's a depression, because my thought is if I ain't got nowhere to go and no money to spend, you know, what am I doing? What am I doing? Because you can't hardly leave out of the house without spending any money, even if you have an electric car. But to get out with an intended destination and, you know, being productive, paid or unpaid, there's a whole different feeling for me of accomplishment and satisfaction. Yes.